time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys, in here to have a little bit of talk about promoters, guys, and promoting wrestling events. So, hey, let me go ahead and get started, but just a moment, just hanging there with me. Right now, I'm pretty much having a little bit of technical difficulties, but yeah, I am here, guys, and we're gonna rock this thing out. I see my man Lucas is in the house. What's going on, Lucas? But yeah, give me just a moment, guys, and we're gonna get started into this. I have a pretty good bit of things to say. I know some people might get angry, might get upset, especially here in the wrestling community, might get upset with what I say. But if you get upset, you just get upset, and I'm gonna be straight up. Hey, if you get upset, you get upset. But man, I'm gonna tell you like I see it, and like I've been saying it for the past four and a half, almost 5 years, that Chris and myself have been involved in this thing that we call wrestling, the independent wrestling scene. But hey, appreciate everybody coming in, guys, and give me just a moment. Be right back. All right. All right. So back into this. But yes. So like I said, man, this right here is basically talking about wrestling as a whole. I'm not going to just be talking about the indie wrestling scene. I'm going to be talking about wrestling in general, guys. And like I said, this is all about promoters' responsibility in professional wrestling. And I'm going to tell you the truth. For the most part, I say 70 to 80% of it, or probably even more. To be fair, I'm going to say 85% of everything I've seen since June 21st, 2021? So since June 21st, 2021, when we started the Straight Up Wrestling Show, it's been mostly the promoters trying to put onto their wrestlers that they are the ones who need to be promoting the professional wrestling event. And I'm going to tell you straight up, in my eyes, I think that's wrong. It's not. And, a lot of people may go back and say what I'm about to say is because I have an old school mentality. And yes, I am. Hey, I've been on this earth almost 60 years, guys. I'm a couple years away from it. A little bit less than a year and a half away from it. So, yes, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that experience and things that I've seen and things I've been involved with in the businesses I've been involved in. And when it comes down to the responsibility of promoting, yes, I put it more on promoters than I do on wrestlers. It's all about the promotion. The promoters back in the day, and I'm gonna go to back in the day. And yes, I grew up watching mostly Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions, which became WCW, and Georgia Championship Wrestling and Florida Championship Wrestling. And yes, I saw, before Vince McMahon took over, I saw the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF. I saw that too and saw how they did things. But wrestling, for the most part, sometimes you didn't even know if a star was coming into your area. It was or when they was building a star, they would build a star, and that star, that guy who became a star, his ring antics or her ring antics spoke for themselves. It spoke for themselves. Your promoting, a wrestler's promoting will come out inside of the ring or at the arena or doing their promo at the show or whatever, or the promo before the show. It was always up to the promoter to promote that. When it boils down to it, I can go back to a lot of things. And like I said, I ran a record company. And I'm going to tell you like this. And I'm going to throw the record company in there. I'm going to throw in, me being in, food marketing, me being in, fast food marketing and grocery marketing. You cannot do not expect your artists to build your show. Do not. Man, let me go back to a group. Let's say let me take somebody that was really popular. Say if I had New Kids on the Block, there was New Kids on the Block back in the day that was part of my record company. If I would have had New Kids on the Block, I would have had, say, LL Cool J as one of the rappers on my label. If I would have had Kenny Rogers as a country singer on my label. And let me tell you like this, if I put those guys out, if I had a concert, if one of these guys had a concert, they was headlining the concert, and I just say, hey, it's up to you. Just take it on the road, and you need to go on the radio, do what you can to market yourself and tell people that you are going to be at the Grand Ole Opry, or you're going to be at the old Greenville Memorial Auditorium. And it's up to you. You and your undercard, whoever's your undercard. I don't give a darn if it's Rod Stewart on the undercard, if it's Kool and the Gang on the undercard, if it's Aerosmith on the undercard. I need all of y'all to get out here and cut promos and talk and promote this show. And if they get out there and they promote that show and people don't show up, hey, who is that? Whose fault is that? Do I supposed to blame them, or do I blame myself? If I have on a show, say if I take somebody like, I'm gonna put some big names out here in wrestling. If I had the Midnight Express on my card, if I had Shawn Michaels headlining my card, I had the Undertaker, pretty much the co-main event on my card. I had Abdullah the Butcher on my card, and my show didn't sell. But I told them, each and every one of them, it's up to you to market this show. Get out there and get on TV whenever you can. Get into a TV slot. Go on a local news station. Hey, guys, do whatever you can. Do whatever you can to promote this show and get on the radio. And that's the way it was back then. Get out there and promote this show. And then if that show sells 40% of their tickets or 60% of their tickets, it wasn't a complete sellout. It's crazy for me to come out and say, hey, my show didn't sell because of you. I'm pissed off that I didn't sell all the tickets because of that. I'm waiting and I'm hoping that their popularity is going to sell my show. You guys didn't sell the show. You pissed me off. I lost money because of you. No, everything is on the promoter. Everything on the promotion. That's where it comes down. That's where it comes down to. It's not on the booker unless the promoter's the booker. It's not on the talent. None of that. It is on the promoter, straight up. And guys, the reason I'm talking about this, and yes, a friend of mine, man, had a podcast yesterday. And I made a couple comments. And when I make comments, man, like I say, everything's objective with me. But yeah, when I make comments, hey, man, I'm being serious, but I want people to look at the other side, not just look at a comment and just go, oh no, you wrong. And I know there's people out here probably saying, oh, he's just a podcaster or whatever. Yeah, I don't promote wrestling shows. I've done about 4 or 5 of them since we've been doing this. I haven't promoted many of them. Yes. And man, hey, before that, I was promoting boxing shows. Hey, guys, before that, I promoted musical events, huge musical events with thousands of people. And I knew how it was done. And I'm going to tell you straight up, and as far as a lot of these promoters out here, there's some promoters out here that's really good. I will give them credit. There's some promoters throughout the Carolinas that I met or saw the things that they did or how they promoted their show, and they did very well. And man, I commend them for that. And there's a couple of them out here I saw from the get-go, the jump, how they was promoting, and it was very well done. And they wasn't relying on their talent to get them over. The biggest show that I've done, the biggest show that me and Chris did out in Rock Hill, South Carolina, that drew like 740 people. That show, yes, there was a card put out and everything, but that promoter, he promoted the heck out of that show. It was all on him. And the next biggest show that I did up in Orangeburg, South Carolina, that show, me and Doug went to that show, and I remember the guys on it. I didn't even know who was on the show. It was the promoter out there. The promoter was known for being so good, and he hadn't promoted in a few years. He was known to be so good and putting on good shows that it sold itself. It was between 500, 600 people at that show. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a couple of, let's see, Cole Mackey was at that show. There was a couple other people was at that show. And me and Cole, we had a good conversation. But that guy, he promoted that show right, man. He promoted it right. I didn't know that Dirty was going to be on that show. I didn't know that Outlaw Randy Wayne was going to be on that show. And there was a bunch of other people that I didn't know. I did not know that these people was going to be on that show. And me and Danny was real good friends. Danny didn't tell me who was going to be on that show. Show was outstanding. So, I mean, you have people, man, oh, no, it's up to the wrestlers. Yes, it's up to the wrestlers. It's up to the wrestlers to help out. But if you cannot provide an avenue for these wrestlers, if you got wrestlers who refuse to do that, if you as a promoter, and you are dog, especially if you're going to pay these guys, because I tell you what, I do a show, I'm paying everybody on that show. I am going to make sure they are paid before the show even starts. But if you're a promoter and you are paying people to be on your show, then I'm telling you what, to get your money back, you better make sure that the buck stops with you, that you are going to do everything you can to get your money back. But if you're not going to do that, hey, too bad. Straight up, man. I mean, if I promote a wrestling show right now, and I asked Christopher Prince to be on that show. I asked Chase Emery to be on that show. I asked Zuka King to be on that show. Jack Mars to be on that show. And a few other wrestlers around here that I really like. And they decide that, hey, we want to be part of the show. We want to be part of your show. And they come, and I guarantee them, hey, whatever their fee is, $75 here, $100 here, or a little bit more. I'm not going to wait for you to put out some great promo. I asked you to put out a promo. And I'm going to say, hey, send that promo to me. I'll put it up on the Straight Up Wrestling page. And I'll see whatever else I can do to help get that thing out there. I'll talk to other podcasters or whatever. I know we're in a different media age. One guy, that, hey, I said something on Scott's podcast. And one guy came to me and said, that was old school, when I mentioned that Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, let's see, Ultimate Warrior, let's see, who else I mentioned out of that group? Rock, Stunning Steve Austin, when they was in the WWE. It wasn't because they was out there promoting themselves. Yeah, they promoted themselves in the ring. That's what happened. Their promotion came a little bit later. Vince McMahon is the one who pulled that off. Vince McMahon is the one who put wrestling on Saturday Night Main Event. Vince McMahon is the one who went to the biggest platform that you could go to for young people back then, MTV, and put it on MTV. He was promoting, he was pushing this. He got with Cyndi Lauper. He was pushing wrestling as a product. He believed in his product before he believed in those wrestlers. He had a backup plan if he didn't get Hulk Hogan. But man, you got people out here tripping. And Jim Crockett built superstars. He built Nikita Koloff. Nobody knew who he was. Man, up in Georgia, they built the Road Warriors. He built Ricky Steamboat. Nature Boy Ric Flair. You think Ric Flair would have made it out there like that if he didn't have the backing of Jim Crockett Promotions? If he didn't have the backing of the promoter out there pushing that? You can have all the talent in the world, but I guarantee you, they are not going to sell your event. There was a show a couple months ago, and I'm not going to call out the promoter. I wish he would have done better. But the last couple shows that he had, not too far from where I'm at, is in the upstate of South Carolina, had a show. And because of the name that I'm going to say, you're probably going to know the people here in the South, the people here in South Carolina, upstate South Carolina, is probably going to know who I'm talking about. There was a show with Deion Johnson on it. Derek Vanderford was on that show. Deion Johnson on that show. And the show drew 15 people in his hometown. And everybody loved Deion. He's a football star. He's a big dude. He's a big known dude out there. And everybody loved his wrestling. But that show drew 15 people. Because it was not properly promoted. And the guy had all the bells and whistles, guys. All the bells and whistles, just like a big-time show. But he did not promote the show. Hey, he didn't contact Scott Larson. He didn't contact HBT. He didn't doggone have his people going out plastering up posters everywhere. I have a friend that worked for the fire station. Me and Chris have a friend that worked at the fire station. He didn't know nothing about it. Nothing about it. So you can get out here and you can talk about these wrestlers, and there was wrestlers, I remember, that was trying to promote that show. You can get out here all you want and talk about wrestlers promoting shows. You can do that all you want. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. These wrestlers are not able to push that show because you can come up and tell me, and I'm going to tell you like this. I watched wrestling back in the day mainly. Yes, I watched it for the wrestlers. The wrestlers were the driving point of the promotion. But Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, man, Jim Crockett Promotions, I will watch that show. I don't care who was on it because I know they deliver week in and week out. I will watch Memphis Wrestling when I can catch it because they delivered a product week in and week out that was good. That was good. I used to watch WWF when it first came out on USA back in 1982 because 1982 to 1984, man, they couldn't miss. The Senior was still involved at that time. They couldn't miss. They put on a great product. I didn't care if Tony Atlas was going to be on TV. I didn't care if they had Tony Atlas, Rocky Johnson, all the way down to the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. I don't give a darn who was on the card, man. When it came to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling, I didn't care when Ric Flair used to disappear because he was the world champion. I didn't care if it was Ricky Steamboat, Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man Valiant, Pistol Pez Wadley, whoever was on the card, whoever was wrestling on those shows. It didn't matter. Even when George Soft, I used to enjoy watching him. It did not matter because they put on a great product. Because I'm telling you, the fans, they remember that show. They remember the show that they went to, that they was promised to see a great event, that a big-time poster came out and you had all these names on there that tried to make your show look good. And then when people get to your show, you get to your show, a person like me who's a critic. Yes, I'm a critic. I'm going to look at your show. And Christopher Burton is a critic. And we look at each other. And we look at each other, and better believe me, when we get in that car, we talking. We are talking. And you might think just because you have people flying around, bouncing like they jumping off mama's bed or jumping off a trampoline, that they're going to come to your next show. That's not true. But I appreciate everybody coming in, guys, and checking out Straight Up Wrestling Show on HBT. Guys, listen, if you are on Facebook and you're enjoying this podcast, hit like, share, join. If you're on YouTube, you hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these. And if you on Twitch, you do the same thing that you do on YouTube. And when you catch us over on X, formerly known as Twitter, you hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet. I appreciate everybody. My man Lucas said howdy. All right, Richard Hood said Harry Dunn King could do better than anyone else. Yes, he did. And Scott Larson said people can talk and disagree. It's what a podcast does, causes controversy. There's no doubt about causes conversation. No doubt about that, Scott. I agree with you. Jamie said, I put some people in here. Yes, you did. I definitely appreciate that, Jamie. Continue to do that, man. Richard Hood says Harry Dunn King could do it better than anyone. Yes, no doubt. No doubt. Hey, yo, I am popping them packs for sure. All right. Jamie says, here we go. And Jamie says, yes, sir. And Scott says, I would love to come on for a minute. Scott, I definitely will bring you on. And then my man, I am popping some them folks, whatever, Pat's folk for sure. Yeah, true. Rich said Harry, the right promotion can make anyone look good. Exactly. And I appreciate your extensive knowledge. All right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. I mean, I'm about to get that name right. I'm definitely going to have to get that name right. But Scott, let me get you in here, man, into this podcast, bro. Let me see if I can get you in. Let's see. Let me copy that. Chris, I'm trying to get, hopefully Chris comes on or he's watching, man. Let's see. I know he was not ready to go or dressed or anything like that. He was saying, I think he just got out of the shower, man, about to get in. But yeah, I'm trying to, hopefully get him in here too. But yeah, Scott, man, give me a second, Scott. I'm about to send it to you from my phone, Scott, because I got some things going on here. But yeah, man, wow. Give me a moment here, bro. Definitely give me a moment here. But let's see. Goodness, man. Scott, man, I'm having trouble here, bro. I'm definitely having trouble. But Scotty, if you still here, man, I hope you still here. Let me see if I can get this thing copied because I'm having trouble here. Okay. I'm having trouble. But yeah, I got to get back to this rant, man. Let's see. Come on. Let's see. All right. All right, Scott Larson, come on in, man. As soon as you get a chance, come on in. Hopefully, Christopher Burton can come in. But I tell you what, man, getting back to that. And yes, hey, I'm not trying to put down any promoter. All right, Black Rain 7920 says, yo, Scott said, I am here. Take your time. All right, Scott, I sent it. Yeah, I sent it. So yeah, just click on the link, man, whenever you can. I didn't send it to you through Messenger because I got to stop to do that. But yeah, come on, you can just hit that right there and come on whenever you can. But guys, like I said, look, man, I'm going back. I'm definitely going back to, old school principles that have not changed. As far as business go, that have not changed, even though the landscape is different and you can have these wrestlers do a lot more things to promote themselves. And they should, 100%, they should promote themselves because that is going to put them out there farther in the conversation, farther in the public's eye. Hey, I'm with all that, but I'm gonna tell you what. There's nobody. There's wrestlers that can come out here and talk to me, man. Casanova. Let me talk about a couple guys that's really out here making it mark. My man Connor Drake. Connor Drake and what is his partner? But Casanova and Connor, I was right there when they started. Okay, we did their first show. And before that, the guy who was working with me and Chris before, me, Chris, and Octavius, he was the one who got those guys started. So I was right there with them, and they two of the hottest people that's on the indie scene right here. You didn't get anything? Scott, it's right here, man, in the comments. Let's see. That's what I'm trying to get you right there in the comments. Just come on in from there, bro. If not, like say, let me see if I can go on. Yeah, so it's right there in the comments. See if you can come in from that link right there, okay? But it's in the comments, bro. Sorry about that. You might have to go on YouTube to do it. But all right. Richard says, Harry, having a good PR person is important. Yes, you got to have public relations, and that's one thing I don't see with these guys out here. You need to have somebody do your public relations. Get out here and talk and discuss things. And look, I have seen everything that I wanted to see. And I'm thinking very seriously, and most likely within 4 months, you're going to see straight up professional wrestling out here running. That's all it is to it. And yes, I'm one of these people, man. I look at every single thing because every business I've been in, and it's not bragging. And some people may think I'm arrogant, but every business I've been in, I've been successful. As a music artist, I was successful. As a record company exec, I was successful. And I always did the marketing, or I had people that was around me who could do the marketing. So straight up, man. All right. I got my man from Hashtag Truth, Mr. Hashtag Truth. Before Mr. Hashtag Truth even says a word, I want you to go over to Hashtag Truth here on YouTube. Hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 so you know when he's on that Hashtag Truth is going to bring you truth and nothing but the truth. Go over, and if you're on Facebook, you hit that like, share, join. Rock it with my man, Scott Larson. But Scott Larson, you in the house.
What's going on, man? I just wanted to add to what I said when you started your podcast, man. Me and you, we were both raised in the same time period of wrestling. Yeah. We agree on some things, we disagree on some things. Exactly. That's what a podcast is for, brother. A podcast, any kind of podcast, is for conversation, man. You can disagree. Right. We can agree to disagree. But
yes, sir,
man, when you take it to heart, when somebody comes on and says something here, you take it to heart, you take it personal, and you start bashing somebody online, and you start doing this. That's where things get way out of hand, and that's what happened to me. And I'm not going to go into detail. That's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, I agree with what you're saying, man. I agree. We've been doing this podcasting for close to 10 years now. And we've seen all the companies that are in our area. We see what they do. We see, we know who's doing what. We know the wrestlers who are doing good. We know it.
Yes, okay. Sir.
And to expect a podcaster to just sit on his tail and not come out and tell the hashtag truth.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you expect us to do? Do you expect us to just be frontmen and just come on here and be, oh, it's all nice and daisy. Everybody's doing perfect. Everybody's doing great. There's 3,000 people at every wrestling show out there. Every wrestler's doing it. It's not feasible, dude. It's not. That's why podcasting. That's why people watch you and Christopher. That's why people watch me. That's why they watch Peaches and Power Bombs. That's why they watch, Ron Emerson when he has his going. That's, we all have a difference of opinion. We've come together on roundtables talking about WWE. All of us have different opinions, man. But we're not going to fist fight. And I'm not going to call you a bad name because you don't agree. Oh my gosh, that Harry Bernard Taylor, he's a horrible guy. He don't believe that things should be landscape instead of up and down. He's horrible. What a horrible guy. Horrible podcast. Horrible this, horrible that. Why would I do that, man? You're doing the same thing I'm doing. And you're pushing the stuff that we love, man. We love professional wrestling and we're coming on to talk about it. And that's what this is all about, man. It is from the beginning. And if you got an opinion, that's your opinion. Own it. You're a fan. If you're an owner, if you're a wrestler, we all got opinions, man. And that's what this podcasting is all about. And I want people to understand that not everybody can grab this mic and get behind it. Not everybody. Not everybody's got the guts to come on and say, hey, this and that and the other. And I want to praise you and your partner and everybody else who's out there doing their best to promote what we love and bringing all this stuff to the forefront, man. I want to thank you for being a friend, Harry, Chris, for being a friend, all my other podcasting buddies. I'm not going to let what happened to me this morning down me. I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I know at the end of the day, I know who I am and I know what I bring to the table. I know my worth, just like you know your worth. I'm pointing the wrong way. Just like you know your worth.
All right, let me go ahead and get these comments. All right, Scott, we'll get back to that. But Carlton, hey, you got Scott right here, and Scott, I'm gonna let Scott defend himself. I see you says
good, man. Hey, if I'm not your cup of tea, that is fine. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's fine. There's other podcasts out there. I'm not saying that I'm Mr. Smart, that I'm Mr. That. I'm a fan. Everything I say on my podcast, I say it 1,000,000 times. I'm a fan.
Right.
And if you want to call me a backstabber, who am I backstabbing?
Exactly. Hey, all I've seen from Scott is good stuff. And I mean, Scott is going to give everybody a fair chance.
I just want to know who I'm backstabbing.
Exactly. All right. Carlton said he didn't want me to succeed in the wrestling business. I don't think that's true. I think Scott wants everybody to succeed in the wrestling business.
I've never once said I didn't want anybody to succeed in the wrestling business.
And hey, that's how I am. I want everybody to succeed. That's the reason why I went over and worked with CMW when I didn't have to, which I was a way bigger name and everything like that. I wanted to help bring those guys up, and that's what I did. But a lot of people didn't like that. But that's man. If
you don't like my show, I'm okay because there's 5 or 6 others. I've said it before on my show. I'll send you to Christopher Burton and Harry Bernard Taylor here. I'll send you to Peaches and Power Bombs. I'll send you to the Wrestling Wire. I'll send you, you'll agree with one of us eventually.
Yeah. So, and that's one thing. And that's one thing that Scott does. And man, I tell you what, we all, and you're not just Scott, me and Chris, Peaches and Power Bombs, and what? Dang, I can't even. I was going to name some other.
He said that's why I'm getting sick. I love this guy, Carlton. I'm going to tell you right now. No matter what you say about me, I love you, brother. I wish you nothing but success. I'm going to get off and let you go back to doing what you were doing. I didn't want to, change the subject or anything. I just wanted to come on and say my 2 cents.
For a little while longer. Stay in a little while longer. Like I say, don't let nobody discourage you or anything. Carlton,
nobody going to discourage me. Go ahead, man. I'll sit here through the whole thing if you want me to. You know me.
Hey, stick around, man. Stick around. Listen, Carlton.
Go ahead.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and say what I have to say. Carlton, I'm gonna be straight up with you, man. You know, I've heard some things, everything. I've heard things about you, but man, you know, hey, I wasn't there. I was not there, and I wasn't gonna come out here and say anything bad about you or bad about your promotion from things that I've heard from other people. There was other people that wanted me to go at you, but like I said, I don't know you. I'm not that type of person. That's one thing that I do see out here in this wrestling business, that there were people when me and Chris first started doing this and really got hot. There was people coming at us that didn't even know me. They had no flipping clue. And when they met me, the guy's okay and everything. Yeah, but
what company are you from, Carlton? I just want to know. Remind me of what company I bashed. I just want to know.
All right, this guy speaking is a crab. Okay, all right, man. All right, my man Big Country is in the building. What's up, Big Country? What's up, fellas?
Big Country, right. Big show coming up on the 17th at HWA for Big Country. Y'all show up and show out for him, man.
Yeah, my boy J.E., another wrestler out here. You know, he's acknowledging Big Country. He said, "What's up, Big Country?" He knows Big Country. No doubt about that. And all right, Carlton said, "All right, Carlton, I'm gonna tell you what, bro. I'm gonna let you say a few more words. I'm gonna go ahead and I will acknowledge you. But, man, I'm not going to let you take over this podcast. I will tell you that, okay? Like you did us to talk so much crap about us, and you never met us in person or dump truck, got mad because we took him off our show, and that's the truth. Okay, like I said, look, I'm not going to go.
I don't know what company you're talking about. You're not giving me any information, so I can't defend myself. I have no clue who you are. So
yeah, then you started lies to keep us from being successful. Hey, man, look, I'm going to tell you what, everybody can come back. There have been people who have been dumped on in this business, and not just from other companies out here, from podcasters, from all walks of life, as far as in this wrestling business, from fans and everything, and they have made their way back. If you're good enough, Carlton, if you're good enough, if your product, if you put a great product in that ring, and that's another thing I'm going to tell you.
He keeps saying I'm spreading lies, but he hasn't told me the name of the company yet, man.
You put
Tell me the name of the company. Let me defend myself.
Exactly. You don't have to have the best talent. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You don't have to have the best talent that's out here. But if you're putting a great product in that ring, man, then nobody can stop you. You are gonna come up straight up, Carlton. You can do that. So, man, and plus,
oh, now I know who this guy is. This guy is.
All right, then you started live to keep us from being successful. All right, kill yourself and lose some weight. Okay, man, that's it.
Okay, I still love you, Carlton, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's about to boot you, but I still love you, brother.
Yeah, look, man, I'm gonna use one more insult. You booted, and let's say, Carlton, you on my friends list, man. I'll take you off that. And I if you say anything else about Scott like that, man, that right there pisses me off. Man, it really does.
I've seen worse, brother, but I thank you very much.
But yeah, that's garbage, man. Do not come on here spewing garbage.
And this is the last thing I'm going to say to Carlton. And you are a part of In Your Faith Ministries.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you say. That's Jesus like.
Yeah,
you're promoting Jesus like this. I love you, brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
Me and Scott, we both men of faith. Do not come on here speaking like that. If you out here, man, you out here promoting Christ, and you say that you have a ministry, that you are out there and you have been giving food. You're supposed to be giving food to people, or trying to get food for people, or try to get clothing for people, and helping the homeless and things. And then you're gonna come on and you're gonna talk like that. What do you do after you give out clothes to people? Do you go back and say, hey, man, that guy's a worthless bum, or that woman is a worthless, she's a piece of crap, she need to fix her,
I remember what happened back then, and we can go into that. You say I spread lies, but everything that was said on the podcast that I did,
appreciate it,
we had receipts. So it's all good, brother. You can say what you want, but if I come on and I say something about something, I have receipts.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Scott's not gonna get out here and say something that's not true. And Scott's not gonna say anything about anybody unless he's upset about it. It's something that really upset him because he loves the business and he's trying to protect the business. But Philip, my man Philip Rollins is in the house. Yo, bro.
Bam, I love you, Bam.
It's one thing, but telling someone to kill themselves is not right, bro. Exactly. I mean, I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna say what I'm about to say, but there was a certain person. There was a certain great Christian that got
Jamie Earnhardt. Jamie Earnhardt. Let me tell you what, brother. I've got nothing but good things to say about you. I saw you last time at Shock's house. We had a great time, brother. We spent some time together. Me, you, your wife, your dad. We had a good time, man. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you.
Exactly. Yeah, and Philip Rollins said, "Grow up." Like I said, look, man, that was a great man that got shot not too long ago. We all know about it, and hey, I hope you wasn't one of the people that was out here cheering, man, or agree with that. I hope not. That's the type of person that I see.
I would never wish what that man said on here to even my deepest, darkest enemy.
Exactly. I mean, I've had some very bad enemies. I would never say anything like that to anybody, man, or to try to say, hey, kill them off in a vicious way, a violent way, man.
Let me. I don't want to take over this podcast,
okay,
Carlton. Let me explain something to you.
Go ahead and say what you got to say.
Bro, you want receipts? I'll put up receipts about me being sick. I have no problems doing it, brother. I have no problems throwing you every bottle of medicine that I have on my kitchen table that I take every day. I have no problem. You want to call me a liar and say this and say that God don't like ugly? Well, if God don't like ugly, why are you being ugly?
Exactly.
I'm not wishing anything bad on you. Never did wish anything bad on you. I was on my show telling the truth. I had receipts in my hand. So if you want to say what you got to say it. But the one thing that everybody, and Bam's on here, Jamie's seen me in person, all these people. I mean, I've been with this guy over here many a time. I'm pointing the wrong way because I'm inverted. But, I've been with Harry plenty of times. Harry knows I'm the same behind this mic as I am out in public. There's no difference in Scott Larson, man. I am who I am. Okay?
No doubt.
You said you're not talking about me being sick, but yet you're talking about I'm being sick because I'm lying and I'm doing all this and I'm doing all that. No, I'm sick because my body's breaking down, okay? That's just it. My body's breaking down. I don't blame God. I don't blame the devil. I'm working it out every day, okay? That's all I got to say about that. I'm working it out.
All right, yeah, I wanted Scott to get that out, but yeah, wow. Philip says, hey, all right, Carlton, I'm gonna ignore that, the rest of whatever you got here. All right, Jamie said no negativity here. If you want to go the negativity, go somewhere else. No ands, ands, buts about that. Let me put this stuff on the screen, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, Harry. I'll go so that way Carlton will stop talking about me. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Man. But what I just want to come on here and say, I'm gonna say it one more time, and then I'm gonna jet. Is podcasting is just that. It's us being fans, giving our opinions, interviewing people we love, promoting the sport we love, and sometimes people are going to take things the wrong way. If you want to be professional about it, if we say something that offends you, get a hold of us on Facebook. Give me a phone call. I'm a phone call away. What happened this morning didn't have to happen. There was 3 people that had my phone number that could have called me this morning. Right. And none of that would have happened. But they chose to go a different route and go on Facebook, and that's where we're at now. But I love every one of you. Harry, keep doing your thing. Everybody out there, keep doing your thing. Jamie, I love you. Bam, love you. Everybody else that's on here, man, love you. And we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, Scott. I appreciate you coming in, man. Love you. Have a good day. But listen, stay on, Scott, because I still got some things I want to say. But man, right now I'm pretty much about to do something here. So guys, give me just a minute. But yeah, I'm about to do something. About to do a little switching here. But yeah, I gotta do something. I gotta do something on my phone real quick. I was hoping Christopher Burton came on, but he's not. Man, but I appreciate everybody in here, man. Hey, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. But yeah, just give me a minute here, and I want to do a couple things. But yeah, Carlton. I mean, man, look, I do not like the way you came in here, and this is something that could have been handled different. You could have pretty much hit me up and talked about this, and maybe we could have a sit down, or maybe we could all get together. Me, you, and Scott could have got together and, we would have talked about this. But no, you decided to come in here, man. You decided to come in here and bring that kind of negativity. I'm just like, wow. Just because Scott Larson came in here. And, man, to pretty much harp on the man's health like that and say, hey, you need to go and kill yourself and everything, man, that right there, straight up, that is not just Christian, a Christian shouldn't be speaking like that, but a person out here, man, just a person that's walking out here, man, a person that's out here walking around in the mainstream world, in the secular world, shouldn't even be talking like that, talking about killing somebody, man, because anytime that I hear that, I think about what type of person that is that's going to be out here saying something like that, man. That is just flat out nuts for you to come out and say that. And there's no excuse for it. No excuse for it at all. I don't care how mad you got that things didn't work out for your business or anything like that. But for you to do that, it's just gutless, man. It don't make no sense. But guys, give me just a moment here. I want to do something. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. All right. Sorry about that. So give me just a moment. Hopefully you guys can hear me on the phone. If you can't hear me on my phone, definitely let me know. Okay. If you can't hear me on the phone, definitely let me know. Because like I said, man. All right. Rick Carlton says, I'm going to go ahead. Look, I was about to block you right now. I really was. Carlton, but man, I'm gonna go ahead and I will let you tell your story, but I want you to come on a Straight Up Wrestling show and tell your story. I'm not gonna let you come on right now because I was doing something a little different and you came in with all this, man. It just blows my mind. All right, Jamie, my man Jamie says, Scott, don't let them get to you, bro. Keep your momentum. No doubt about it, Jamie. All right. Carlton, liars always run from the truth. All right. My girl, Christine Saucy Girl, said, bye, Scott. Take care of yourself. You're a much better person than that loser. All right, Jamie says, like I said, man, don't go. Let's talk about wrestling. That's why we're here. Yes, sir. All right, Jimmy Gable, what's going on? Said, great turnout, guys. Keep up the great, amazing work. Hey, appreciate Jamie bringing in the crew, man, and everybody else coming in. Carlton says, let me come on. Carlton said, let me come on and tell my side. Well, Carlton, man, hey, stick around. I'll let you come on in just a little bit, but I tell you what comes at you, man, don't get upset about it. All right, Jamie Earnhardt says, we don't like bullies over here. Do you want to bully somebody? Come meet me. I hear you, Jamie, no doubt. All right, Philip says, after what you said, no one care what you have to say, bro. You said enough. And Christine Saucy Girl, that is completely uncalled for. Carlton, let me tell my side because he has even talking about what he are talking about. What? All right, Carlton, let me tell my side. Let me tell my side in a professional way. Man, look. Oh, man, sorry about that. I don't mind you telling your side in a professional way, Carlton. But, man, you pretty much outed yourself when you start telling the man kill himself. You start telling the man that's why he's getting sick and everything like that. And you basically went off on his weight, man. Why in the world would you do something like that? Straight up, man. But I tell you what, Carlton, hit me up. I'm going to hit you up. I'm not going to let you come on to this podcast right here, right now. But I will do a podcast a little bit later on today. If you want to, I will do a podcast a little bit later on today, maybe around 4 p.m. Let's say 3:30 p.m., between 3:30 and 4 p.m. I'll send you a link. If you want to come on and tell your side of the story, you want to come on and talk, you definitely can. And we'll push it out as far as we can. And, man, a lot of people see my podcast. Even if they don't see it right then and there, they see Chris and I, they see our podcast. And we'll push this thing out there. And I'll let you tell your side of the story.
But man, I tell you what, I will talk to you about Kingdom Matters, because that's one thing that you profess out here, and you went a different direction. You went a direction that a man of Christ, that a man of God should not go. And that's sad. That's very sad. But straight up, man, I'm going to go ahead and finish this thing about wrestlers promoting themselves. I don't have much time left here before I got to take off. I got to take off about 2 or a little bit after 2. So, man, yeah. So I will bring you on, so that way you will have a while to chat and tell your side of the story straight up. All right, guys. But yeah, let me get this thing going right here, man. So give me just a moment here. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, man. Y'all guys stick in with me.
All right. Sorry about that. Man, goodness sake, this whole thing changed everything, man. But it had me on 2. It had 2. Let me remove that. All right. Okay. So, man, hey, back to the rant, guys. And pretty much a lot of that stuff was basically things that I was getting at was pretty much cut in half there, because we got into a whole different thing that we shouldn't have been discussing. But hey, that's what happens sometimes, man. That's what happens on these podcasts. All right, Ray said, can we do one? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can do one. All right, my girl, I mean, not all girl, but my lady, Missy Childers is in the building. Appreciate you coming in, Missy. How you doing? Good to see. All right, my man said he will be back. First one that he tuned into. Man, let me get your name right. Let's see. I am Misa Pen them packs for sure. But I'm gonna get that name. I'm gonna get name. I'm gonna shorten that a little bit, but I appreciate it. All right, like I said, my lady Missy came in here. Missy, I'm glad you didn't come in here a little earlier. You would have heard some things that you did not want to hear. I had Scott Larson on, and I had somebody on here insulting Scott, and that has pissed me off big time. It pissed Scott off. It's something that should not be. That kind of talk should not go down in this wrestling industry, but you know it do. You've been around long enough. You know how it is. All right. Can we do one? Yes, Jay. We definitely can do one. I'll send you a link too. You can come in, bro. With words like that, why would anybody want to hear their side? Exactly. And my girl, Christine Salsa Girl, you and Chris were great last night. The two of you were as if you never skipped a beat, especially for as long as it's been. Exactly. All right. My man Richard Hood said the only athlete that could promote himself was Muhammad Ali. Exactly. Muhammad Ali promoted his fights, but man, he had one thing about Muhammad Ali. He used the system that was around him. It was a great system around him. He used Howard Cosell. He used the networks, man, and he had people talking. Now that's a great thing, but there was, like I said, there was a motor behind him. And before Muhammad Ali, you had other people, you had other promoters and everything like that promoted him. So yes, it's all about, it's all about the promoter. It really is. Don King came in and did a great job as far as pushing Muhammad Ali even farther than what he was. Now, he was already worldwide known. But still, I'm telling you like this, if Muhammad Ali, even if he was fighting Joe Frazier, even if he was fighting George Foreman, if we would have just came out and promoted it himself, it would have lacked a little bit. Because I'm going to tell you like this, straight up, I have more respect. Not that I don't have respect for wrestlers, but I believe in people like Brett Wolverton. I believe in even Tim Smith over at 3 Count, who's the owner of 3 Count. Let's see. People like my man Cruiser Lewis or Cruiser's old partner, man, great friend, Chris Thunder Anderson. I can listen to them and they tell me about a show and it's going to be a great show. Even though they're wrestlers, I look at them as people that's in the know. A great promoter can tell me that they are putting on a great show, or a person that's a podcaster, or a person that is a sports commentator, or somebody like that telling me how good this show was. I went to a lot of shows with Doug because Doug would tell me about the shows before I got there. And for the most part, Doug was right on the money how that show was going to be. He could tell me exactly how the show was going to be. Now, you can have wrestlers come out here, promote themselves. I don't care how good they are. And I'm looking at some of the people that's the best as far as promoting themselves, like Ken Magnum. Ken Magnum is great, and Ken Magnum is a draw. He can talk people into the building straight up. He's definitely good at that. Let's see who else that I would say that can talk people into the building. Let's see. Goodness sake, man. I mean, he is real good. God Almighty, Jack Insane. Jackson Sane, whatever. It's hard for me to say that name right now. Say it right, but Jackson Sane, because there was Jack Insane up in Georgia where we worked. Well, down in Georgia that me and Chris we worked at. He can talk people in the building too. So there's people, man, that can talk you. Eric Thunder's pretty good at that. Man, hey. It's a lot of different people that I've seen. And I've seen people do great promos like Cruiser Lewis and Chris Thunder Anderson, who did not do it as much on platforms that could talk you into buildings. Man, Christopher Prince is pretty good at that. Who else is good at that? They are real good on that mic, man. He got real good mic work, and they know how to talk you into buildings. And, hey, Scott Larson is good at promoting things, man. If I hear Scott talk about a promotion like, HWA, every time they come out, even though me and Chris, we used to go a good bit, we haven't been down that way in a while. I mean, the last few promos and the thing that he did with he just did a show with goodness sake, he just did one of his shows with the heavyweight man. I'm so frustrated right now. I can't even think, but he just now did a show right now, and he was promoting HWA. Makes me want to go back. And me and Chris been talking. Said, man, whenever you off, I said, whenever you off. Now I'm off always. I always have, I work from home, and I do my own business outside of here, because basically I retired when I was 42 years old. I retired. I did enough in business to retire at 42. And I started back working about 6 years ago, doing my own thing. So I work for a couple different companies, but I have my own timetable when I want to work. So I have more hours than Chris have. So I said, next time you off, man, let's head on down to, let's go back up to Rutherford, North Carolina to check out HWA. All right, let's see. And my man, Jamie Earhart is laughing. My man, Jay is laughing. Lamessa Q. Okay. McClark says, I've got your back, Harry, and Christopher can't stand rude people straight up, y'all. No doubt. All right. Jay says, it's all about talk and have a chance of dreaming. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And, man, like I said, hey, look, I encourage everybody. I encourage every wrestler out here in the Carolinas, in Georgia, wherever you at, in Tennessee, around the surrounding areas. Get out here. Promote yourself. Do what you can do, but hope for the best. Hope that the person that you're going working for is promoting the heck out of the show, promoting the heck out of you. If you're a good talent, that he's promoting you, that he is pushing you to his audience. Because I'm telling you what, words from other people go a long way. Go a long way. You can promote yourself, but nobody can promote you better than that person who's in charge of that promotion, or a good podcaster. Because I'm telling you what, me and Chris, we had wrestlers, man, that really never was heard of. We had them on the top of the hill. And Scott Larson has been able to do that too. And Ron Emerson have been able to put people out here. And people people have known a lot of people know people because of him. But I'm telling you, nobody can do it better than somebody else out there that people look at and say, okay, this is a respected person in the business, where they might look at that person as a journalist or something like that. Hey, wrestling books used to do the trick back in the day when I was growing up. But man, hey, like I said earlier, it don't matter that the platforms have changed, that we have social media now. The guy that was on this morning that was telling me I was wrong because I said some comments on Scott Larson's podcast. He was telling me, I was wrong or whatever. That's all he had to say. Hey, that's all good, because my dad was on TV. That's the reason why Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, and all those guys got big. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Sting, and the Road Warriors. The reason was because it was TV. No, it wasn't TV. I'm sorry, Jim Crockett Promotions had a lot to do with the Road Warriors and Ric Flair. Ric Flair never would have got where he was at if it wasn't for Jim Crockett. Hulk Hogan never would have achieved that level of success if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. Hulk Hogan had been out there for years. And Hulk Hogan got popular from the Rocky franchise. And he still hadn't got as big until Vince McMahon got a hold of him. Vince McMahon started pushing him, but first he pushed the promotion. Like I say, Saturday Night Main Event. Then he pushed him out there on MTV. He got Wendy Richter huge. So, man, for you to get up, for somebody to get on here and talk about, and that was just part of Scott's promoter, his promotion yesterday, his podcast. That was just a little piece of that. But, it seemed like a lot of people got, they got a little hurt. Their feelings got hurt because of something that I said or whatever. And I'm not the only one. And Scott has had people come at him before. But, man, people got to stop getting into their feelings. And one thing about me, any time that I say something, there's always room for something else. I'm not always right. Nobody's always right. But, man, I look for everything. As far as in this wrestling business, I've just been on the shelf. I've just been basically sitting back and watching. And, man, I would have been started straight up professional wrestling. I wish I would have before Doug had quit. I would have started my own promotion. It didn't matter that people was out here, he's just a podcaster. Them guys don't know what they're doing or whatever. There was people out here saying that. But they learned different when I did run shows. And the shows that I did run, they started beating these guys who have been out there for years. Because, hey, look, I went to some of you guys' shows. Oh, I saw the show. You had great talent on your show. But you drew 40 people. You drew 50 people. And like I say, there was a show a couple months ago. Had Deion Johnson on the show in his hometown, drew 15 people. And then that promoter got on his page and he blamed the town. And look, man, hey, I'm all for that promoter. I'm all for it. He had great talent on the show. He had all the fireworks. He had everything going. I'm all for him. Even though, like I say, he had beef with me over nothing before. But, hey, I'm all for him, and I hope that he have a great show tonight. And, I put it on my page. I have no beef with him. And I'm going to talk about his show a little bit later. Before we go, me and Chris, we plan on going to that show. And I'm going to go back to AEW, up in Boiling Springs. I want all these people to succeed, straight up. Everybody in wrestling, I want to succeed, even Carlton. If you get back out here, man, I want to succeed, and I'll be willing to help you. And I'm sure Scott will too. But you need to apologize to Scott. You need to apologize to Scott. And you need to, you need to repent. You need to repent to the Lord Jesus Christ straight up for what you said. Sit there telling the man to kill himself, want to bash on a man because of his weight, and want to bash on him because of his health. We all want to see Scott Larson healthy. A real brother in Christ, a real true brother is going to love everybody. And that's the thing. That's the thing with me. I love everybody. I do. I may have beef with you. I may be upset with you and might not like you or want to be around you, but that don't mean I love you. I love the human race. Because my Father in heaven died for the human race. All right, Jamie, it's all about talk and have a chance of dreaming. All right, here my girl, my lady, Missy Childers. Oh, yes. Glad I missed that. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Hey, no problem, Missy. No problem. Richard said, Harry, do you remember promoter Butch Lewis? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Richard. Yes. He did a really good job. Jamie says, since I've been talking to Ryback, I see everything different now. That is good, Jamie. That is good, man. Jamie, you still living in Greenville? Not far from me, because you was living not far from me. Richard said Thunderbolt Patterson, Dusty Rhodes, and superstar Billy Graham could talk you in the building. Yes, sir. And they did. They did. Richard Hood says Bill Apter did a good job promoting wrestlers. Yes, he did. Ole Anderson did good at that. Ole Anderson was great at that. Ole could talk people into the building. Arn Anderson could talk people in the building. But yeah, back in the day, a lot of those old school wrestlers can talk people in the building. And yes, they did it from a platform. They did it from the confines of the company that they was in. They did it from Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. They did it from Georgia Championship Wrestling. They did it from from CWF, Florida Championship Wrestling. They did it, Memphis Championship Wrestling. They did it down in Mid-South. Of course, they all provided a platform. And one thing, like I said, even before they got up there and talked, the things that they did in the ring, building a story in the ring, and then coming out and telling their story right down the sideline, they was promoting from within doing that. And people wanted to go to see those wrestlers. But man, it was very special when you had somebody like Bob Geigel come out and talk. You had somebody like Jim Crockett come out and talk. You had Vince McMahon Sr. come out and talk, even Junior when he was out there talking on the microphone. These guys would come out and they would promote their wrestlers. It was special. Paul Jones up in Houston and, in places like that, they would promote their wrestlers, man. It was special. And it gave you an extra joke to get to that show. Even though they was talking about their own product for the most part, it gave you that extra, get up and go. Same thing with Graham down in Florida, man. Graham would promote his product, but those guys, they would promote the NWA as a whole and make you want to go to any NWA show. Any. And you got promoters, you got podcasters out here, man, that's trying to be for everybody. We are out here trying to be for the health of the whole independent wrestling scene, for everybody to make it and have good shows and have people drive out to these shows. But you got other promoters who want to go against this promoter, go against that promoter. Don't go work over here. Don't go work over there, or we ain't going to never book you or anything like that. That's the way you want it. And it's nothing but chaos out here. Business don't work like that. It doesn't. Straight up. It doesn't. Because when it boils down to it, you are all using the same product, guys. And you're working in different areas. It's one thing if you had one company out here and they was masking the whole area. Yeah, that was different for Jim when Jim Crockett was in business and in the Carolinas, and you had back in the day when I was growing up, and a lot of you guys don't know because IWA came around in 1975. A lot of you wasn't born. IWA came into town and pretty much tried to steal territory from him. And Jim Crockett did everything he could to crush that. I can understand that because he promoted all around South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and in the Virginia. So he didn't want anybody taking any of his territory. I understand that. But when you might be in Packlet, South Carolina, you might be in Bowling Springs, you may be in Union, South Carolina, you may be in Pickens, South Carolina, you may be in Shelby, North Carolina, and there's all this other open space, and you are down in somebody else that's trying to run somewhere else. You trying to wreck their company? Are you trying to wreck their promotion, telling people don't go work there because you don't want them to succeed? Hey, man, there's a problem with that. You're not a very good person. You're not a very good person. You are trying to be competitive. You basically might as well say you're trying to be a wrestler. And I know a lot of these promoters have been wrestlers. But I mean, it's chaotic and it's stupid. Why not work with each other and try to make each other great? Jay says big time. And Jamie says big time. Jay says, for real, didn't talk down on no one. Exactly. Jay said I'm in Spartanburg now. Okay, Jamie. Okay. All right, Missy says, where are you guys going tonight? I plan on going to Pickens, South Carolina, Missy. I plan on going to Pickens. All right, you need to check out Wrestling Evolution. I think you guys would enjoy it. And they're in Shelby. They're in Shelby, North Carolina. And I had somebody hit me up today and say we should come to Shelby. Man, if it's that good, like I say, I'll take your word for it, Missy. I might go to that show. But all right, Jamie said, hey, reach out to me today. I'm gonna jump off here for a little while. Okay, I definitely will reach out to you. But listen, like I said, I may go there. I may go there. But one thing, only reason I can say I'm going down to this Pickens, South Carolina show, it's right down the road. It's 15 minutes down the road. It's 15 minutes from me and probably 15 minutes from Chris. Chris live over in Easley. I live in Greenville, right on the border of Easley, Dacresville. Easley, right on the border of that. And the show is right there. And Pickens is right there. So that's the reason that I'm thinking about going to the show. And I want to see how AML or whatever the name of, I think Jimmy Ward's coming in. I want to see how it does in that building. But hey, I'm all for him. And I don't know if he heard whatever I said earlier, but it does not matter or whatever. But yeah, I did have some things to say about him. I didn't say anything bad about him. I'm just saying, I'm just telling the truth. I mean, he had his show up in Pickens, South Carolina, and it bombed the last couple shows. Is it completely his fault? I don't think so. I doubt it. But he had big names on the show, and the show didn't sell. So somebody has to be held accountable for it. It really do. And you can't just put it all on the wrestlers, because he had people like Jackson Sane. He had Deion Johnson, Antonio Morgan, all those guys. And yeah, they got out here and they shot promos for the show. But I did not see promotion outside of whatever he doing on his page. I didn't see any promoting from that. And man, you got to push. You got to push. You do. You got to push your show. And sometimes that don't even work. Straight up. Sometimes that don't even work. But I tell you, if I go to your show and it's not a good show, man, look, there's a lot of shows that I've been to, and me and Chris, we done been to the show, and I didn't do a show on it. We used to do a show when we first started on every show we went to. But I didn't want to get on here and lie and try to pump up a show that wasn't that good. Straight up. Straight up. All right, but I appreciate everybody coming on. I appreciate my man Jamie Earnhardt. Appreciate my girl Missy Childers. Appreciate Scott Larson coming into the building, rocking with us. Appreciate Richard Hood. Appreciate I Am Popping those bags for sure. I think that's what it is. Appreciate him coming on, man. Goodness, I appreciate my man Philip Rollins stopping in. Christine Saucy Girl stopping in. Alma Clark stopping in. But I appreciate everybody, man, who came in. My man Jimmy Gespel coming in. And man, even Carlton, I'm gonna go ahead and recognize you. You came in, but hey, you got to come better than that. You talk about you want to do a show with me. Appreciate my man Lucas coming in. You want to do a show with me? You got to come better with that than that. I do not want you coming in and talking about somebody like that again. You need to, man. You need to sit back and think. I don't care how upset that you have, and somebody you say somebody trying to destroy you in business. Man, you ain't the first one, and you won't be the last one. Straight up. I had people there. We've had plenty of people up and they left this podcast. And I've had people, there's been podcasters out here, not just wrestling, not just people in the wrestling business, wrestlers, pretty much promoters and podcasters who said, oh, don't go over there and listen to the Straight Up Wrestling Show anymore. Hey, delete yourself, man. Hey, block Straight Up Wrestling Show. There's been people who've done it. But the popularity of the Straight Up Wrestling Show have just kept going. And we got the biggest platform on YouTube than any of them. Any of them. I'm not trying to put down any of these wrestling podcasts out here, but me and Chris, our platform is bigger than any of them when it boils down to it. The only person, like I say, we're not as big as Scott Larson on the independent scene, and that's because I wanted Scott to have that. I definitely wanted Scott to have that. Not saying we could have took it from him, but man, that's what Scott does. That's what Scott always been doing that. And we wanted Scott to have that. And I appreciate Scott doing it. And, and Ron Emerson got on that. He was doing that. It's not that me and Chris couldn't do it, because a lot of people want to come on our podcast. But me and Chris, we decided to do the national thing and build that. And I tell you what, but I am going to be promoting. I am going to talk to a lot of local people here soon. A lot of local wrestlers, and I'm talking about in the Carolinas, Georgia, and things like that. I'm going to start doing that. But it's not to hurt anybody else. Hey, man, I'm willing to work with anybody. And if you're a friend of mine, you're a friend of mine to the end, straight up. That's all it is to it. Even if we have beef, you will always be a friend of mine. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to go for anybody out here telling somebody else to kill themselves. I don't want to be around people like that. And none of us, I don't think none of us do. Christine says, take care, Harry. Have a good day. You too, Christine. Richard said, Harry, there is nothing worse than a bad wrestling promotion. Exactly. All right, but I am definitely getting off of here. Appreciate everybody coming in. And if I didn't get your name, sorry about that. Hey, just know that we love you. Stay straight up out here. Until next time, see you guys later. What did I'm gonna get to? Missy says, I told him same thing last night. Is today to come to Shelby. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, that's me, Michelle. That's my girl, me, Michelle. Okay. All right. Alma Clark said, I just rewind the comments. Did he just say that? I'm deeply pissed off. Yeah, he said that. Yes, he did. But yeah, I'm going to get off here and I'll probably come on a little bit later on today. I got some work to do. But yeah, I'm going to try to get on a little bit later on today, and I might be bringing that guy on here. But man, yeah, because he want to come on and tell the side of the story. I have no problem with that. But man, it is what it is. But yes, promoters out here, if you think your job is done, straight up, if you really think you did your job is done, it's over with, as far as getting good wrestlers and putting them on your card and telling them to promote the show, to do promos, promote the show. You think that's it? If you actually think that's it and that's what's going to get your show over, then hey, you sadly mistaken. I'm sorry for you. That's not going to sell your show. It's up to the promoter when it boils down to it. And you can check AI, you can check a lot of different things. It says the same thing. Hey, it's when it boils down to it, it's the promoter. If I owned a syrup company and I sold syrup for Pepsi products, I do not expect, if I was a bottler for Pepsi, the grocery store. No, say if I was, let me turn that around. Say if I was the manager of a grocery store and I got Pepsi in there, I got Coke in there, I got Nabisco products in there, I got Kraft in there, I have Quaker in there, I have a lot of different brands in there. I have Tyson Foods in there, and my grocery store fails. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming the distributors of Dannon yogurt. I'm not blaming these companies. I am not blaming Kellogg's for my grocery store not making it. Because it's not up to those companies to promote me. It's up to my company, my promotion. It's up to my company. It's my business to promote itself, to get the word out that we're a great company. And that's the way it is in wrestling, guys. Business is business. And if you're a businessman, and that's me, that's what I always been. So except for, like I say, I've been retired for years. But man, if you're a businessman or if you know anything about business, you know that's the way business works. You get somebody in to work for you, it's not up to them to promote your business, to make sure it's successful. That wrestler, when he signs with you, what his job is to get in that ring, do what he's supposed to do, give 100%. You want him to give you 100%. And if at that show he ends up having to talk or whatever or discuss his match, he do it then. That's where his promotion starts, in the confines of that business. Now, if you want him promoting on the outside and he's not doing it, you can contact him and you can say, I have a platform. You can even say, hey, I have wrestlers coming to the building at this time. It could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the show. But I need you. That's part of the money that I'm paying you. I need you to come to this building. I need you to cut a promo. You're going to be one-on-one with Jack Stewart, or you're going to be one-on-one with Danny Smith. These guys are going to talk to you. They're going to talk to you, and you're going to talk about your match that's coming up with Caleb Crocker or whoever you got a match coming up with. Or you just cut a regular promo, and they pay you. Part of your pay is that promo. Or they say, send that promo to me, and I'll look at your promo, and I'll edit your promo and put it out on my platform. Because I'm telling you, if you have a company, because what's the name do this, and they do a brilliant job. There's two companies out of Greenville that do it. Turbo Pro Wrestling does it, and 3 Count Pro Wrestling do it. They promote within themselves. They put the promos on their platform. They promote to their people. The reason you don't hear a lot of drama from them is because they're not involved with the wrestling community outside of their landscape. And that might be the right thing to do for most people. Because everywhere else is drama, 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 drama. And it shouldn't be drama. Straight up. All right, me Michelle. So bring your candy as the Shelby. Definitely not got a boot to Grounds advertising. Got to hand flowers every chance you get. Exactly, me Michelle. Anywhere you can, got to push it on social media. Got to be professional, start on time, and put something out people actually want to watch. Exactly. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you, like I'm gonna tell you like this, and one of the companies that people downed over and over and over again. You know, I went and worked for them. I booked for a good while for them. CMW went out there and put, and like I told Octavius, hey man, it's all about the product that you put in the ring. He didn't have the greatest wrestlers, but I tell you, we put on some dynamic shows. Not all the shows came out right, and there was a couple times that I was not there on time, and I should have been there on time, and somebody else took over the reins and tried to do a booking job and messed the whole thing up. But man, we was putting on some great shows, especially down in Georgia, and people coming, names building up. But man, that's what it's about. All about the product in the ring. After that, everything else falls into place. The product in the ring got to be great, and you do great promos at the show. And then you do great promos out here that's in social media. But you got to do great promos for your company. If you are the promoter of that company, you can't talk. Get a PR person like my man Richard Hood say. You need a public relations person, somebody who can do your PR. You can put somebody like me, Michelle, out there who can get out here and do great PR for you. Hey, put a mic in front of her if she's a great talker. Now, that's what I'm saying, me, Michelle. You can cut good promos talking about a company and really building them up. My man, Black Cat Johnson, Dion Johnson, is in the house. Come on to Pickens. I plan on doing that, Blackjack. But me and Michelle trying to get me to Shelby. All right. So yeah, she like, hey, come on out there. But most likely I'm coming down to Pickens. It's right down the road from me, not far at all from my house. Me and Michelle said, look at APW Chester. Dad started that when I was like 13, and it's still going. I'm 30 now. Yeah, and that's another company that basically don't get involved with all the stuff out here, and they promotion within itself. They promote themselves because they put on great matches. They put on great shows, and people want to go down there and see that. And obviously, they have people out there that can talk. But man, like I said, look, if you are dependent, if you're a promoter and you are dependent on your wrestlers to promote your show, hey, you are the one making you are the one pretty much taking all of the chances. If I take a show and I'm putting $1,700, $2,100 into a show, and that's the minimum of running a show. If I'm taking that, I'm taking all the risk. And I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure I get that back. And for me to depend on you to cut a promo in your living room or cut a promo in your den or whatever, hey man, to me that don't cut it. That ain't good enough for me. That is not good enough for me. Now, hey, I appreciate you doing it. I really do. I appreciate you doing it. But hey, wrestling needs a little bit more. You need a little bit more to push these shows. And I'm saying that, like I said, I'm saying that from a guy who's experienced of doing shows, man. Hey, doing shows, running a record company, and doing shows with thousands of people, way more. I did one show. I did one show a few different times that was bigger than all the shows combined that I've seen in a year, as far as since we've been doing a straight up wrestling show. Thousands of people. I did a show in Cleveland Park, promoted. I was the promoter for the show in Cleveland Park. They had over 20,000 people in that show. And it wasn't because I said, oh, this rapper going to be on there, this singer is going to be on there, this is who going to be on that show. It was all promoting an atmosphere of great music. Come on out. And people already had seen my shows around the Carolinas. People already had seen my shows, in different spots in Georgia and things like that. And they knew about me. They knew about my company back then, Fresh School Productions. That was my music company, Fresh School Production, back in the 80s, in the 90s, late 80s and the 90s. They knew about Fresh School Productions. And people knew that we put on a great show wherever we went. Anytime that I hear 3 Count is putting on a show, I know they're going to put on a great wrestling show. So I go. I used to go up to Action Pack Wrestling with Danny anytime we got a chance because I knew they put on great wrestling shows. you know, hey, you put on a great show. Hey, man, I'm coming back. People will come back to your show if you're putting on great shows. Straight up. That's all it is to it. CMW down in Eastern Raleigh, Georgia was building a name, and people was coming back because they was putting on great shows until somebody else decided to make a smart move. And I'm going to get in here, and Harry's not here. I'm going to do the booking or whatever. Changed up the whole platform. Don't do that. You get a good booker, you get somebody, a good promoter, definitely work with him. Because basically I was promoting the shows down there because people knew who the Straight Up Wrestling show was there. They did not know the promoter. They did not know my man Octavius, even though I love Octavius to death. They didn't know him, but they knew me and Chris. All right. Me Michelle says Wrestling Evolution. Jack Morgan is in the building. What's up? Says promoting is only a piece of the puzzle. No doubt about it. Selling tickets and your product in the wrestling organization you're wrestling for to the fans and get them to believe in what we are doing. Yes. And all that, everything that you just said, Jack, every single thing that you said, man, all that comes from the head to the toe, from the head to the bottom. You know, that promoter has to, you use what you have around you. Like if I have somebody I know that's going to go out there and plaster things all over the place, and let me go ahead and name Eric Thunder. Eric Thunder, you give him a whole bunch of, you give him the responsibility of going out in his town and plaster stuff all over the place. He's going to do it. He's going to put posters everywhere. He goes from Anderson over down to Greenville, and he's putting out posters. I mean, that's great promotion. That's something extra. And man, hey, I paid him a little extra for that, even though he wasn't expecting it. You know, that's for CMW. That's something that not even my promotion. Me as the booker paying people because they did a little something extra to help the show out. And I was part of it. Because look, I wasn't looking, it wasn't that out, hey, I didn't mind losing any money as far as any show. Man, I planned for every show that I was involved in. It didn't matter if I was booking it or if I was doing commentary, podcasting, or whatever. If I was involved with it and I believed in the promotion or believed in the promoter or whatever, I was willing to help out sometimes, man, and give a little money here and there. Because a lot of times, you guys don't get paid much money, man. You just don't. But man, hey, everybody together can make things stronger. Straight up. And my girl, me, Michelle said, Dad used to tell me from the second we pull in the parking lot till the second we pull out, got to stay in character. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And, that's all part of promoting. All part of promoting. Me and Michelle, nowadays, these jokers wrestle each other in 5 minutes, later sitting in the crowd beside each other, shaking my head. Yeah, because they don't care. They don't care. A lot of these guys out here that's out here in this wrestling business, they really don't understand business. Or like I said, a lot of them don't care because they leave it up to straight up. And like I say, I'm not going to blame them for that, but they leave it up to the promoters to promote their show, to promote what they're doing. And a lot of them just care about what they did. Because one thing that you do, and one thing I do agree with, the things that like I say that I heard on Scott Larson's show, man, it's up to everybody that's involved in that promotion to promote the show, to be a part of the promotion, but to do it in the parameters of what the promoter sets, the people that's in charge. Because you can't have, now, it's one thing that I seen, like we was doing at CMW, we was building a factory, we was building a conglomerate of people that was doing certain things. Now, to do that, you have to have everybody in agreement, one mind, one accord, straight up. If that don't happen, you can't have a successful business. You can't. All right. But guys, once again, like I said, man, hey, you can catch me on a little bit later, maybe. And I'm gonna try to send something out and maybe do something with this Carlton guy or hit my man Jamie Earnhardt up and see if he wants to come on. But guys, I am definitely gonna get out of here. Me and Michelle says facts. Exactly. Paying dues ain't a thing no more either. Shaking my head. Exactly. You got a lot of these people that don't come out. A lot of these wrestlers don't come up and they won't help out with the ring or whatever you dare early. Hey, help out with the ring. I've seen a lot of them. They just go and sit in the back and just, get out here and learn everything you can about the business. Like I say, you know, me just being a podcaster or a person up there that's going to report on the show. Hey, me and Chris, we done got down and dirty and did everything. We, you know, hey, help build up the ring or tear down the ring. We done all that. And didn't know anything about it. You know, hey, I know how to do a boxing ring, and it was similar. But as far as wrestling ring, never been involved in that. And straight up, me and Michelle, there was a time at CMW where it was just me, Dion, and Derek, and one more tearing down the ring. Yep. Oh, yeah. Jack said wrestling is what you make it. Like it takes 5 seconds for me to promote to 20 different groups on Facebook. Exactly, Jack. Promoting where I'm wrestling. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt about that. But, yeah, once again, I appreciate everybody coming in, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. We had a lot of people that came through today, and I definitely appreciate it, and appreciate Jamie Earnhardt bringing his people over again to rock with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. But each and every one of you, man, hey, y'all have a great afternoon, rest of your afternoon, and have a great evening. And I will get with y'all later, and I'm going to get this last comment from a girl, me, Michelle. It was the Christmas show. I stopped and yelled, you got time to talk? You can help in a dress and heels because, using dress and heels helping, no doubt. Jack, like selling tickets is another way to promote. Yeah, exactly. Get out here, man, and get tickets from, you say, I like selling tickets. I want to do my part. Ask your promoter to help you give you some tickets or whatever so you can get out here and do that straight up. But, yeah, appreciate everybody coming in. Y'all stay straight up. Peace.